New York, 1978. The city pulsed with ambition, grit, and danger. Organized crime wasn't a rumor. It was a structure, invisible yet pervasive. Families ran unions, construction sites, and even airports, while small-time operators hustled between legal work and criminal opportunity. One of the most tempting targets in that world? John F. Kennedy International Airport, a hub where millions of dollars in cash and valuables moved daily, often with minimal oversight during quiet overnight hours. Into that world stepped Henry Hill, a low-level associate of the Lucchese crime family. Not made, but well-connected, Hill ran errands, collected debts, and cultivated relationships that allowed him access to the fringes of big operations. Through him came a tip from Louis Werner, a Lufthansa cargo agent at JFK. Werner owed gambling debts and confided in Hill about the airline's vault. Every so often, it stored millions in US dollars and valuable cargo overnight before armored trucks transported them to Manhattan banks. The vault was lightly guarded, and Sunday nights presented the perfect window. Henry passed the information to James "Jimmy the Gent" Burke, a respected and feared figure in the Lucchese family. Burke wasn't flashy, but he had a sharp mind and a cold heart. To him, the opportunity wasn't just tempting, it was calculated. A clean, fast, untraceable heist could net millions, and with careful planning, the risk could be minimized. Burke assembled a trusted crew: Tommy DeSimone, volatile and fearless; Angelo Seppi, a reliable driver; Louis Cafora, Joe Manry, and others skilled in moving money and handling tight situations. Each man had a role. Some would control guards, others would transport the cash, and all would follow strict orders. Preparation was meticulous. The team studied shift changes, mapped routes in and out of the cargo building, and rehearsed their roles. They acquired vans disguised as airport maintenance vehicles, stole radios to monitor police frequencies, and secured a safe house nearby to sort and launder the money afterward. Timing, precision, and inside knowledge were everything. The night of December 11, 1978, arrived. A Lufthansa flight had brought in a shipment of cash and jewelry from Europe, destined for the vault. It was a Sunday night, with skeleton staffing and predictable routines. The crew executed the heist with surgical efficiency. Guards were restrained and gagged, phone lines cut, and vault doors opened using inside information from Werner. Canvas bags were filled with unmarked bills and loaded into the vans. In just over an hour, the crew drove away with approximately $6 million in cash and nearly $1 million in jewelry. The operation seemed flawless. No one was killed, no alarms triggered, and the robbers vanished into the night. But the heist's success planted the seeds of paranoia and violence. Large sums of cash invite greed, fear, and betrayal. Soon after, men connected to the job began to die under suspicious circumstances. Some disappeared entirely, others were found murdered. Jimmy Burke's strategy was brutal but effective. Silence was enforced through elimination, leaving few people who could testify about the robbery. Law enforcement scrambled to investigate. The Port Authority, the FBI, and local police formed one of the largest joint inquiries in recent history. Witnesses were scarce, evidence was thin, and the perpetrators had built layers of separation between themselves and the crime. Even Henry Hill's cooperation, while revealing, could not fully expose Jimmy Burke or recover most of the stolen money. The trail grew cold, and the majority of the loot vanished into legal and illegal channels, never to be accounted for. The human toll was staggering. Men who had participated in the heist were killed or went into hiding. Families were left without closure, living with uncertainty and grief. The psychological impact on the survivors, fear, mistrust, and paranoia, lasted for decades. The heist became a symbol of both audacity and consequence. a stark reminder that even the most meticulously planned crimes carry costs far beyond what anyone anticipates. Culturally, the Lufthansa heist became legendary. It inspired books, documentaries, and films, most notably Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, which drew heavily on Henry Hill's memoirs. Scorsese's portrayal captured both the glamour and the brutality of the era, the careful orchestration of criminal enterprise, the temptations of sudden wealth, and the violent consequences of betrayal and ambition. The heist also left lessons for institutions. JFK Airport and other cargo operations tightened security protocols, focusing on vulnerabilities revealed during the robbery. It became clear how routine, understaffing, and the reliance on inside personnel could create significant risk. For organized crime, it demonstrated that even a perfect score could unravel through human error, greed, and paranoia. The Lufthansa heist remains an enduring story because it combines audacity, meticulous planning, and lasting consequences. Millions were stolen in a single night, yet few walked away untouched. The job produced wealth, fear, and death in equal measure. Men vanished, others were killed, and much of the money disappeared forever. The heist became both legend and cautionary tale, a demonstration of how opportunity, planning, and greed intersect, and how success in crime is often inseparable from destruction. Ultimately, the Lufthansa heist is a portrait of human choices under pressure. It's the story of ambition and preparation, of trust and betrayal, and of how a single night can ripple through lives, leaving both fortune and tragedy in its wake. It reminds us that while a perfect crime may exist in theory, the consequences, for those involved and for the world around them, are never fully predictable. And so decades later, the heist lives on in stories, interviews, and the cultural imagination. It is a tale of daring, strategy, and consequence. A night when a vault was emptied, lives were altered forever, and a legend was born.